tell you about the toolbox. My dad, my teacher, my mentor, my lifelong best friend, liked the outdoors. He liked nature, and he wanted me to like that too. And he wanted to bring me out there and enjoy it with him. So we set on our way, get out of the car, and he said, "There it is, Buck. We're gonna go in the woods." "Good, Dad, let's go." How are you gonna find your way back?" "Oh, I don't know." So he reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a compass. I had seen that compass at home enough times. I didn't know what it did, so here's what it does, Buck. You see that little pointer in there? It spins in circles. Hold it steady and it'll stop. So I did, and the black part of the pointer stopped. So he said, "Is it stopped, Buck?" "Yeah." "Well, look at the dial. That black point is pointing to true north. So just turn the dial slowly and put the end where the pointer is. You got that?" He says, "Yep." He says, "That pointer will always point to true north. Trust it, it'll always do that no matter what." So where we're at now, we want to go in the woods. Which way do we want to go? I'm looking at this dial and I'm saying, I think we're going to go in east. "Are you going to remember east?" I said, "Yeah." "So before we go in, which way do we have to come out to come home?" I look at the other side and I said, "West." You got to remember west, because north is not going to lie. We're off, we go into the woods, we're having a great time. Wonderful place to be. I haven't been there before. Dad says, "It's getting late, Buck. Got time to go home. What are you going to do?" Oh, reach in my pocket, my compass, let it steady out, and down it, found where north was, saw where the W was, turned myself around, faced W, and started walking. And I guided my dad back out to the car. And it wasn't the way I thought I should have gone, because I thought the brook would take me back, but the brook wasn't running west, it was running some other direction. Go back to the car. My compass, my first real tool. But he gave me a lot more than a real tool. He gave me life's tools. As I was growing up, he taught me how to communicate well with people, how to not to start fights, but to stop fights. All the little life tools that all dads should, but dads do with the children. So I got this toolbox, the real tool, the compass, which is an analogy or a metaphor, to the toolbox of the life lessons that he taught me. Peggy, if you're out there, I'm going to take my first breath now. Would you put the photo up of the picture, please? Is it there?
Yes.
Why did I say the anniversary of my 19th birthday? Behind me, you see guys sitting on a column in front of an old building. You might recognize that as being the Parthenon in Athens, Greece. And I'm in a Navy officer's uniform. I'm not in the Navy, by the way. This is my first year as a Maine Maritime student, and I'm on a training cruise. And up until that day, I've been spending 5 weeks crossing the North Atlantic, doing all sorts of jobs on board a 500-foot ship. I can't tell you how many tons it displaced. Big waves rolling, and I'm in the high adventure. They actually have me at the helm, the wheel, and I'm steering this boat. And I have to follow another real compass. I got to keep the boat going in this direction. And it's fun, it's great, I'm juiced up right now. And we pull into Lisbon, our first port of call. That was great. We sail through the Strait of Gibraltar and go to Naples. That's really great. And then we sail through and we land in Piraeus, Greece. And that's the port city of Athens. And now I'm finding myself sitting in front of this building. I'm saying, this guy is taking pictures. And he snaps my shot. That's it. He hands it over to me, and I had this epiphany. I'm only 19, it's my birthday. But looking at me as myself in that picture, I'm saying, boy, this is as good as it's ever going to get, isn't it? Wow, if you can capture the essence of what you're feeling right now, and all that you've lived in little 19 years, but this has been a grand adventure. If you can find yourself back here, tap into the energy that you're juicing up on right now. Wow, this is going to be this powerful juju. This, okay? So my life lessons my dad taught me, this lesson I'm learning right now, this is another tool for my toolbox. Okay? We'll take another breath back. Fast forward 21 years. I'm 19, 21 years. I'm 30 years old. I've been an extreme skier. I've been a motorcycle racer. I've hunted. I've fished. I've mountain climbed. I've been a type A personality. Need for speed. Bring it on. And I'm at a pool party. I dove into this pool thinking it was deep. It wasn't that deep. And I'm a show off. I dive straight down. The bottom comes up quicker than I expect. Bam, my elbows break. I hit my head. I'm stunned. No big deal. I've done this before. I float up to the surface. I'm not coming out of this. I broke my neck. C5 quadriplegic. Whoa, what am I going to do now? Well, this is the first reinvention of my life. I'm on the operating table, and they're fixing my neck, and I died. Really, I did die. I had this out-of-body experience. I drifted off, and wow, it was liberating. It was so wonderful, warm, welcoming. I didn't have this restraint of this being that I was. And I forgot everything behind it. It was just, wow, this is so cool. And while I'm thinking so cool, I'm thinking, ow, that hurt. I felt this jolt. And I didn't know what it was. It took me out of this reverie that I was in. And so, this thought popped into my head. Don't get too comfortable here, Buck. You've got work to do. Whoa, yes I do. I have a 5-year-old at home. And I've been running around having so much fun, I've forgotten that I'm supposed to be a dad to her. I had a father that taught me the tools of life. Let me give you my toolbox. I can go back and I'm going to give her toolbox. So I pulled myself out. I recovered from the surgery. I rehabilitated myself. I had been working as an engineer in a paper mill. I was lucky that it was in the early 80s and the personal computer had just come out. So I used that to use my knowledge as a paper maker, learn to use the personal computer, and I made another job for myself at the mill. I worked with that job for 20 more years in the chair. But while I was working, I was home though. I was home more than I was before. Because that 5-year-old was getting older and I was teaching her how to ride a 2-wheeler from the wheelchair. She got a little older and I taught her how to ride a standard. I'm not in the car, by the way. I'm in the wheelchair. But she trusts me so much that talking to her in the window, I can get her to slip the clutch and go in that chair. I'm teaching her life's lessons as she's going. I have a purpose in life. So, I did a good job. She's giving back to people who need her. She's given me 7 grandchildren. That's a whole nother story. But I did a good job. She's doing wonderfully. 20 years, okay, now I'm 30, and fast forward 20 years, and I've done my job. She's on her own. Taking my next deep breath back. I'm in the hospital more than I'm working or at home. Life issues are starting to keep up with me. I'm having bladder problems, I'm having ulcer problems, and I have this, all of a sudden, I have this intervention, this thing called intervention. Well, it's a big thing. All the medical staff come to me and my wife, who's been taking care of me for 20 years now, say, you can't do this anymore, Mr. Elsick. No. You're here more than you are home, and this is too expensive. And you have just worn your wife out. We've been trying to convince her of this for a long time. She won't agree to it, but this is it, my friend. You cannot live home anymore. You got to go into a nursing home. Me? My wife spent her whole career as a social worker in a nursing home. I visited her while she was there. I saw the people there. Not through her eyes, but through the guy who worked in the paper machine. Oh, I'll visit, but I don't live here. Now, the next morning, I'm going to go and I'm going to live there. Okay? I'm laying in bed in the hospital thinking this is my new life. And I'm thinking, oh, my toolbox. I used it once to reinvent myself after I lost the use of most of my body. I had a purpose, bring my daughter up. So I don't know what the purpose is of this, but I know there must be one. I have this toolbox. And so, yeah, I'm going to be fine. I show up at the nursing home the next day. This is going to be okay. Next morning I get up and get in my wheelchair again. I've got some mobility going. And I wheel out into the hall, and I realize this lady that moved in across the hall from me. First thing I'm going to greet this lady. Her name is Mabel. I'm 53 years old in a nursing home. I wander across the hall, talk to Mabel. Hi, Mabel. I'm Andy. Hi, Andy. I'm Mabel. I'm 106. I do the math. You're twice as older than I am. Wow. So I'm saying, what happened? He said, well, I've lived home all my life, 106. And I fell and I broke my hip, and now they tell me I can't go back home anymore. That's all right. I'm going to have to be in this bed. I can't get into a wheelchair either. But, nice people are going to take care of me here. Wow, man, that's so cool. 106, that means you were, heck, you were born in the 1800s. You lived as a young girl, and you saw the new millennium usher in. Those were horse and buggy days. Those were dirt roads in Berlin. And I've lived in Berlin for 45 some odd years, and I'm thirsty for the knowledge that Mabel has about living along all that time. And she pumps me with all this stuff, and I'm so thirsty for what Mabel has to offer. And so, wow, okay, this is something I can do. I can learn from Mabel and from all the other people who are in there. And I was a patient in the hospital. Now I'm a resident. Not in a nursing home, not the nursing home I thought my wife administered to all. I'm in a nursing home in a long-term care facility. This is my